Hey, yo, Chris, where you at? I'm in town.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Chris Hovers, and we are back with the Solo Dolo podcast. Yes, I'm finally getting back into the regular swing of things, even though this is the second episode since my hiatus recently. Um, Today's episode is going to be a message to my young brothers. This message could also be very relatable, so it may be for my young sisters as well. I, in fact, have no, four younger brothers and I have two older brothers, but we're not. Well, the older brothers, they probably can learn from this too. It don't really matter. Age isn't really, you know, it doesn't really play a big role in learning from one another. So this message is really just to my brothers. Whether you're older, younger, it doesn't matter. I think I'm speaking to everybody, younger sisters or sisters in general as well. Um, I've had a lot of conversations with my little brothers over the years as I've, made my way through my own journey through college, through high school, playing sports, finding my own passions and, watching them, navigate the same territory as well. And everyone is pretty much around that age where, kind of figuring things out, whether it's, early 20s or late teens. And yeah, man. For me, I'm in my like later half of my 20s now, so I feel like I don't know. Even still, like I said, age doesn't really play. It doesn't really factor into the message behind what I'm about to say, and just wisdom in general that you can share with one another. But I really say young brothers. That really came to mind because oftentimes, that is when you're young. That is the time that you're the most moldable, the most interchangeable. You can you're there's a lot of things that you experience in your childhood that shape you, and even when you're older, that things that happened in your childhood or ways that you were going about navigating your childhood that affect how you navigate adulthood. So I want to have this conversation here on the podcast. It's a conversation that I really wanted to have with my younger brothers, or sometimes I wish I can clearly articulate to them, but it sometimes seems like life doesn't really allow for that all the time. Or, sometimes I feel like when I talk to them or when I see them, there's never really enough time to say all the things I want to say and say it in the way that I think it should be said to fully get the message across and what I mean, and, whatever the case may be. Right. But, first thing I would say to my young brothers is this is a big one. Especially for the guys, man, um don't think that you have to be tough all the time. Like, don't think that you have to be this hard, like cold-blooded person growing up, especially. Like, for all my young men, don't think that you have to prove a point to somebody by being hard or being tough. There's this saying that I'd rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener at war. So what that translates to me is like you don't have to show people that you're tough until you do. You know what I'm saying? Like don't you don't have to buck up at people and walk around like with this hostile energy, which that's what I grew up around. I grew up in DC, you know what I'm saying? So every day I used to walk outside, it's like I would look across the street, or I might look at somebody and you might expect it to be normal to just be like, "Hey, what's up?" But like saying "what's up" to somebody could really mean like, "Bro, what's up?" Then like, "What? What's up?" Like, so I just want to say, don't feel like you have to be so tough all the time. And I get it; it can be hard because growing up in a place like DC, like you kind of have to. It's like a defense mechanism. You don't want anybody to think you're weak, so you've put on this hard front of like, if you come over here, I'm a handle you. You know what I'm saying? But for those brothers who end up making it out of that environment, I want you to understand that you don't have to take that everywhere with you. You don't have to wear that everywhere on your sleeve, especially when you change environments and you travel to other places. You don't have to carry that everywhere. I understand that it is a survival tactic that we inherit when we grow up in our hometowns and in the neighborhoods, that if you grow up in a rough neighborhood. So I understand, but as you continue to grow and you experience other territories, new places, don't remember to let that go. You know what I'm saying? Just remember, like, it's okay to be friendly. Like, it's okay. I feel like that's a big one that I really wanted to touch on. Another thing is it's probably cliche at this point, but like, it's okay to be in tune with your emotions, bro. Like, we are human. It's not like, you don't have to be like, again, it kind of goes back to like being hard and putting on that front. Like, it's okay to be in tune with your emotions. Hey, matter of fact, I'm gonna really hit it home with this one. It's okay to be in love, bro. Like, it's okay to love a girl, bro. It's okay. Like, it's okay to fall in love every now and then. Like, sometimes we try to fight that shit when we get older. Like, nah, like, I ain't trying to, like, niggas be trying to downplay love, bro. It's like, it's all right to be in love, bro. If you start catching feelings for a girl, like, experience that love while it's there. You know what I'm saying? Because that love don't always be there. It's not always there. It doesn't always come around. So when you do start getting those special feelings for somebody, like, indulge in that, explore that, see what there is to learn from that. Um, that's one thing for sure. Um, Another message to my young brothers: don't feel like you gotta wear the most expensive shit to be fly. You don't need the most expensive clothes, the most expensive jewelry or whatever to be fly, bro. As long as you got your own sauce and your own recipe of how to put that shit together, you don't need the most expensive stuff. Don't feel like you gotta wear Jordans to be fly. If you're only fly, if you can only be fly by wearing Jordans, we got a problem, bro. Like, you should be able to rock anything and put it together and make it look nice. So that's one thing I would say. It's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run, and it's gonna give you some style, bro. It's gonna teach you how to, like, dress different from everybody. Don't go to the mainstream or the status quo of what people wear. That's a big one. That's something that my mom broke me out of a long time ago when I was young. She was like, "No, I'm not buying you these Jordans or these $200-$300 pair of shoes that most likely people was robbing for at the time, and at least where I grew up." So yeah, man, yeah. Another message to my young brothers, bro, like, it's okay to be different. It's okay. It's okay to be from the hood and not act hood, bro. Like, it's okay to be from the hood and not act violent. It's okay to be from the hood and not be hostile. Like, it's okay to be from the hood and be smart. It's okay to be from the hood. Period. It's okay to be from the hood, bro. Like, it's okay that you grew up with harder circumstances or harsher circumstances than other people. It's okay. It's okay if you didn't grow up with money, bro. Like, the world is not made for everybody to grow up with money. So if you didn't come up with money, if you came from a family that's on a more low income side, bro, it's okay. Like, as long as you keep striving for greatness and bettering yourself, you're good. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's noteworthy, something that's honorable, you know? Man, I really feel like I'm talking to my younger self who just stepped into college, and even just myself as I was going through high school. So I'm trying to think of those moments, think back to those times, the things that I was feeling and the things that I wish somebody told me at that time. Or at least they kind of did, but I just didn't get it because I felt like, oh, this is just another adult telling me, what to do, how to do it. Da, 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 da. A message to my young brothers. Again, this message can also go to my young sisters too. I just relate more because I am a brother, you know. I relate to that saying more because I'm a brother. But, the wisdom is for the taking for everybody. A message to my young brothers: don't wait for any institution, whether it's your high school, middle school, or even college or grad school. Don't wait for them to give you a piece of paper to believe or to know that you are intelligent, to know that you are smart. Don't wait until somebody gives you that validation that you know how to learn a new skill, to learn a new craft. When I was in college, that is one thing that I championed. Once I realized I had resources that were available to me, I realized that, wow, I don't have to just go by the book and go to class and wait until I finish the coursework to be considered a success. I can use the resources that I have access to and make myself a success story by my own guidelines before they even give me a degree saying that I'm worthy or I've done work that is worthy. So even before you graduate high school, figure out what that work looks like. If you have a dream right now, even if it's just an idea, something that like it doesn't matter, like start seeing how you can, what resources can you take advantage of right now in your current position to actually get you closer to that vision, to that lifestyle that you see for yourself. That's one thing I would say. Don't wait for anybody else outside yourself to validate your intelligence. Like, use your brain now. You don't have to wait to graduate high school to start a business. You don't. You don't have to graduate college to do that either. All you have to do is know where to find the right resources, and we all have access to a wealth of information to help you do that. That was well said. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Ooh, I think we're about to get deep on this because it's talking about like relationships and stuff like that. How do I want to position this, saying this? A message to my young brothers. Understand yourself more before you try to get involved with a whole nother person. Understand the things that affected you as a kid, as a child growing up. Understand the things that triggered you, that made you react in a negative way. Understand these things that trigger you emotionally before you just start dealing with people, whether it's a friend, a significant other, or even just regular people, other associates, doing business with people. Like, understand yourself and build more self-awareness before you start to judge your interactions with other people. The more you can become aware of yourself, the more you will be able to understand other people in reference to yourself, in reference to situations that you're in with other people. Like, you got to understand things like how your parents raised you, how that affects you, and how you may have developed different trauma responses based on how you were raised and how they show up in your young adulthood. You have to take time to understand that, whether it's through seeking out therapy or even just sitting and analyzing yourself. Another message to my young brothers: it's okay to be alone. It's okay to feel alone. More importantly, it's okay to work on yourself by yourself. You don't have to be with everybody else all the time. You don't have to do what your friends are doing all the time. You don't have to spend all your time with them. Or let me put it this way. Don't feel like you need a group of people to improve yourself. Don't feel like, don't allow yourself to be dependent on what the homie's doing, what your friend's doing. You should be able to work on yourself and do that deep work in solitude. Learn to know who you are when you are alone. Because at the end of the day, we wake up and go to sleep by ourselves, of course, with God. But like, at the end of the day, when you wake up, it's just you. So get to know that person. Get to know who you are when you're alone. Who is that person? What are they inspired by? What things excite them, truthfully? Like, what are the things that genuinely inspire them? Not how they're influenced by other people and what they want to do, but figure out who that person is. Figure out who that man in the mirror is. Another message to my young brothers, and this one's pretty big, is deeper than what I'm about to say, but understand that the man in the mirror that you see, yourself, you have the choice to either make him your greatest enemy or your greatest accomplice. Choose your character wisely. Choose your partner wisely. Choose who you are to yourself wisely. And I think what that what that really translate what that translates to for me is like your mind is probably the one place you're going to occupy most for the rest of your life, for the rest of your existence. So make your mind a nice place to be. Make it a nice place to live. That voice in your head, your intuition, like make those things good to you. Even when you hear negative thoughts, when you hear the doubt, when you hear all that, don't feed into it. Be aware of it, but don't feed into it. That voice that talks you up, that speaks that belief into you, into your dreams and everything like that. Believe that person. Feed that guy. Not saying you got to starve the other thing, but be aware. And that's just all about self-awareness at the end of the day. Man. I don't even know if these are all the things. Like, I'm pretty sure there's so many other things that I could say that I'm trying to think of things that I would either tell myself or tell my younger brothers right now. Whew, got one. For everybody out there who, you're at that turning point, you're either in your late teens or your early 20s, and your parents keep telling you, like, either your parents, mentors, teachers, whatever, they keep telling you or asking you, so what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do with your time? Are you going to go to school? Are you going to go to college? Are you going to go get a job? Are you going to pick up a trade? What are you going to do? Understand this. And this is very important. Understand that what you do should not always equate to how you make money. I'm going to say it again. What you do should not always equate to how you make money. How you make money should be your vehicle to do what you do. I'm going to say that part one more time. How you make money is a vehicle to do what you want to do. So when people ask you that, it may give you that trauma trigger, and you may have that trauma response to think, oh, I got to go get a job. Oh, I got to go figure out how to make money. But in reality, if you go find that thing that you want to do and use whatever other vehicles meaning whatever school you got to go to, whatever job you have to get to save money, to get the resources, whatever you got to do to get to where you want to be and what you want to do, those are your vehicles. Oftentimes when parents and mentors and older people ask you, what are you going to do? They may not even know this, but they're oftentimes referring to, like, what's your vehicle? Do you have a reliable vehicle to get to where you're going? Or to even figure out where you're going. You know what I'm saying? So understand the difference. What you do does not always have to equate to how you make money. But what you do want to do, if you're passionate enough about it and you're hardworking enough about it, diligent enough, it can make you money. That's how I'm going to leave it. Whew. Wow. That was a good one. That was a good one. Trying to think of anything else. Let's see. I think that's really it. That it's not. It wasn't really too much. Any other time I have that thought of what I would say to my younger self or younger brothers, I'll bring it back up on another episode. But I think that's really all I wanted to get off today. Is that same theme of, like, what would I tell my younger self or my younger brothers? Like, what do I want to have? What do I want to say in these conversations? I got another one. Understand that your dreams are your responsibility and no one else's. So finding the right people to help you and support you, that is a part of your responsibility. Finding those people isn't necessarily easy. They don't just fall in your lap. Sometimes you get a group of other people and it's your responsibility to maneuver around those people as much as necessary to fulfill your dreams. Understand that your family wants the best for you, but even sometimes without them knowing, they can stunt your growth. They are capable of also dimming your light and pretty much putting a damper on your dreams. And you have to protect that. with everything as if it's life or death, because at the end of the day, it kind of is. I'm just keeping it a buck. Understand that your parents, this is a good one. Message to all my young brothers, young folks in general, people in general, because some people may still be dealing with this and not understanding this. Understand that your parents are being parents for the first time. Whether they have 1 kid or 3 or 5 or 7, this is their first time having that many kids for this long. When you think of like a married couple, it's funny. Me and my girlfriend, Jazz, we just did a panel on Black love at my homegirl Charlene's event for her nonprofit called Own Your Crown. And a point that I brought up, it was me and Jazz on the panel, which we've been dating for about a year now, and a married couple who've been married for 19 years. One thing that kind of put us both at ease, because I wasn't too nervous. Jazz, she was a little bit nervous, but we kind of like, we had a great time. We had a great time on the panel, but afterwards we came to a couple realizations that like, wow, this isn't that bad, because we're kind of on the same playing field a little bit. They're still figuring things out, even in marriage, 19 years of that. I made a point in the panel that, at the end of the day, yes, they've been married for 19 years, but this is their first time ever in life being married for 19 years. So I say all that to say, understand that a lot of things that your parents may do to you that you don't like, or things that you think are wrong, or their ways of doing stuff, a lot of times it has nothing to do with you, and it's not personal. It's not that they hate you or anything like that. It has a lot to do with things that they've dealt with in the past that they haven't resolved yet. So with that being said, it's up to you to protect your own energy against family who doesn't have resolved trauma, who has unresolved trauma, friends who have no sense of direction and a lack of self-awareness, and haters at the end of the day. So I think that's it. I'm gonna just leave it right there. I feel like it was a lot of gems in there. That was a slightly like heavy episode, but I tried to be real brief and just get it off while it was fresh on my mind. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If you haven't watched the last episode where I came off my hiatus finally, trying to get back into doing this more often, especially with, just rolling out the content for those who can't watch the longer format of the episodes. Hopefully you get a chance to at some point. Check out my recent music I've been dropping, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's about it, man. It's your boy Chris Hovers. Peace. Blessings on to you.
Hey, yo, Chris, where you at? I'm in town.